The story begins with a 21-year-old girl named Emma, who lives a simple yet happy life with her parents and her younger sister. She is beautiful, kind, and adored by almost everyone in her college. To most, she is the girl every guy dreams of, but to Emma, love was still a mystery she hadn't felt yet. In the same college studies a quiet, lonely boy named Dean. His mother passed away years ago, and since then, he's lived with his father in a small suburban home. Dean isn't popular, isn't social, and doesn't really care to be. He's the kind of guy who sits alone in the cafeteria, lost in his world, until fate decides to write a new story for him. One morning, their teacher announces that the class will be going on a trip to Trinidad. The news spreads excitement all over campus. Emma is thrilled, but when she looks around the class, her eyes stop for a moment on Dean, sitting quietly in the corner. For a brief second, their eyes meet, but neither says a word. That night, Dean tells his father about the trip. His father insists he should go and experience life beyond his solitude. Dean reluctantly agrees. The next morning, the students and teachers board the bus, their laughter echoing through the air. Emma and Dean are both on board, but worlds apart. After a long journey, they arrive in Trinidad, check into a seaside hotel, and soon everyone heads to the pool to relax. Dean, as usual, stays distant, watching from afar. That night, a grand carnival party takes place on a giant boat under the moonlit sky. Music, lights, and laughter fill the air. Emma, dressed beautifully, joins her friends and eventually spots Dean standing alone near the railing. She walks over, and for the first time, they talk. The night feels magical until everything changes. Suddenly, police sirens echo through the sea. The police are raiding the party, suspecting illegal drugs aboard. Panic spreads, people scream and scatter. Amid the chaos, Emma slips and falls into the dark ocean. Dean sees her fall. Without thinking twice, he jumps in after her, fighting against the waves. Somehow, he manages to pull her to a small raft floating nearby. The raft is tied to the big boat, but when Dean hears the police closing in, he cuts the rope. Emma, shivering and scared, yells at him, "What are you doing?" Dean breathes heavily and says, "I don't want to get arrested for something I didn't do. We'll go back once it's clear." But fate had other plans. The waves begin to rise, and soon, the police boats and the party yacht vanish into the distance. They're alone, adrift in the middle of the ocean. Night turns into a nightmare as a massive storm crashes over them. The sea roars, lightning flashes, and the raft nearly flips. Emma clings to Dean in fear, and he promises, "I won't let anything happen to you." When the morning sun rises, the sea is calm again. But they're lost, no land in sight. Their phones are dead, their food gone, and their hope fading. Hours later, Emma spots something on the horizon, an island. Driven by desperation, Dean paddles toward it. The waves are rough, but after hours of struggle, they reach the rocky shore and collapse on the sand, exhausted yet alive. They wander through the dense forest, calling for help, but there's no one. Only the sound of waves and the whisper of wind. The island is beautiful and hauntingly silent. Back in Trinidad, the teachers realize Emma and Dean are missing. Their parents are contacted, and soon a massive search begins. Helicopters scan the ocean, but days pass, no sign of them. Meanwhile, on the island, Emma and Dean build a small shelter with leaves and wood. They share the last of their food, one chocolate bar and a bottle of water. As the cold night falls, Emma shivers. Dean quietly removes his jacket and wraps it around her shoulders. For the first time, she looks into his eyes, not as the lonely boy from college, but as the man who saved her life. Days turn into weeks. They survive on coconuts, bananas, and whatever they can catch. They learn to make fire, to fish, and to adapt. They laugh sometimes, they argue sometimes, but most of all they grow closer than either expected. Emma begins to see the gentle side of Dean. The boy who never spoke much now tells her about his late mother, his loneliness, his fears. Emma listens, her heart softening with every word. One evening, as the sun sets behind the ocean, Dean finds an old skeleton buried in the sand. Emma breaks down, realizing it might have been someone who got stranded and never made it home. She cries in Dean's arms. He holds her close and whispers, "We'll make it out. I promise." That night, under the glowing moon, their lips meet. It's soft, uncertain, but filled with a lifetime of emotion. From that moment, they're not just survivors, they're each other's reason to survive. Days pass, weeks become months. They build a life, a rhythm. They swim beneath waterfalls, dance in the rain, and sleep beside the fire. Love blooms in the heart of nowhere. But rescue never comes. The world has stopped searching. Everyone back home believes they're gone forever. One morning, Dean hears a sound, a helicopter far above the clouds. He runs to the beach, yelling for help, waving his arms. Emma joins him, desperate, crying with joy. Dean searches for the flare gun they had saved, but it's gone. The helicopter flies away. Their hope fades again. Emma breaks down, blaming him for losing their only chance. But Dean holds her, and she slowly forgives him. Because now, even in despair, they have each other. Time passes. It's been over 3 months. Then one day, a monkey steals one of their bags and runs up a tree, with the missing flare gun in it. Emma cleverly throws him a banana, and the monkey drops the gun. At that very moment, another helicopter appears in the distance. Dean and Emma race to the shore. Emma fires the flare into the sky. A red blaze cuts through the clouds. The helicopter circles back. They've been found. After 100 long days of survival, the two are rescued. When they land back home, the world welcomes them like heroes. Cameras flash, reporters swarm, and their parents cry as they hug them. But amid the chaos, Emma and Dean quietly look at each other, knowing no one else could understand what they shared. That night, Dean sneaks to Emma's house. She smiles but stops him from kissing her, whispering, "Not now. My parents will see." She invites him to her homecoming party the next day. At the party, everyone surrounds Emma, celebrating her return. Dean stands in the corner, forgotten once again. He watches her laugh with her friends, realizing that the island, their world, was gone forever. Heartbroken, he leaves quietly. But as he walks out into the rain, Emma sees him. She runs after him, calling his name. They stop under the falling rain, eyes locked. All their pain, love, and memories flood back. Emma steps closer and kisses him deeply. The crowd inside watches from the window as the two of them, drenched in rain, hold each other. They're no longer the lost kids from the island. They're the proof that love can survive even the storm. And with that kiss, their story ends, not as a tragedy, but as a beautiful reminder that sometimes you must lose the world to find the one person who makes it worth living. And that was the unbelievable story of Emma and Dean, two souls who found love where hope was lost. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next emotional journey. Till then, take care and keep believing in love.